There we
Okay,
go.
so now, and then I don't know if you start showing here at this point, if that'll work. I think it will without
It
me
should.
throwing it back to you. I think you should be
I'm
able to go.
moving my screen. Is it moving for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this is, let me go to, okay, this is my 118 class. So what I like about, did it change to, does it say show Psych 118 at the top
Yes,
here?
it does. Mhm.
Okay. So what I like about the reading list is you could embed it right into your modules. So I have my instructions for like here's my instructions for my assignment. You know, I have all my instructions and everything here. I have samples here. And then they'll just go to the next. And then it's just going to embed the reading list right into, I'm kind of in my basement here, so it's going to move slow. And then the reading list is just going to embed right into the module. And they're going to be able to pick whatever they want. And I like that it embeds. They don't have to go into the reading list at this point in time to look. I mean, eventually they're going to, but it's going to embed, and then they could just, and then once they go to the view online, so they could see everything. And this 118 is human sexuality. So if you're like wondering what this, you know, these are, and then when they view online, then it's going to open up into, you know, where they need to go. But I like that first step, you know, where it's at. And then they're going to view online there, but they're still having it here. But at the other place, another one though, you don't have to. So in this case, you could also put it just, so here's the instructions up here, the instructions for, or in this case, it's not instructions. I just want them to watch this video. You know, this video, it ties into their into the material. So it's, so I just popped the video down here right underneath like the instructions. So this is a video down here, and
And Mary, this is specifically a page in your class, correct?
This is a
Yes.
page, right? This one is a page.
Yeah.
So
there's two different ways to do it, James, and I can show both of them in a little, and just in a minute here.
So Mary, is this its own little mini list, the video, or is that just one section in a larger list?
This is one little video. Yeah, I was able, so in Canvas, you could like click, you could like make a whole, like a whole list of something you want. Like I have a list now, I have a list in my reading list. It's called miscellaneous items. And now, and you could just click individual things you want now. So this video is one of those miscellaneous things, and I have like a series of readings that I have, and I could just click those miscellaneous readings.
That's cool.
Like I have this thing here. Let me, because I have it on here. This is also a video assignment where I have students kind of use videos, and then they have to use a video as a source. But one thing in this case is I had the videos in that module over here, but we found out that if students use Safari, they get it doesn't work for Safari. That was one when we were talking the other week or so about error messages. One of those error messages, Safari, and another one of the error messages has to do with third-party cookies. So they have to go into settings and fix third-party cookies. But while we were trying to figure all that stuff out, I just took the videos, and I just made them on my page here, and the students were able to access them. For whatever reason, it wasn't working on the module, but it was working on the page. So you could put you can put your items in a number of couple different ways. It's fine if they're like in here, there's just 2. Like I wouldn't put in that one page I had, I think it was 8.
Yeah, you have a
articles.
lot of videos.
I'm not
and
going to put 8 articles on the bottom of an instruction page. But I would put like 1 or 2, 2 articles here.
Sure.
So you kind of have a couple of different ways
To
that
do-
you can put your, basically there's a couple of different ways you can set it up. Like in my 110 class, I have a series of articles that they could choose from because I have them do article analyses, and I actually give them 20 different articles that they could choose from for their article analyses. So I have a module page for their article analyses,
Right.
because I'm not going to put 20, down here like this. So there's just a number of different ways like that, and they just still like the same. They just click that view item, and it opens up. I mean, there are some more instructions. Like I said, we're learning. For some of them, they're going to get this Open Athens. That Open Athens. Some of them get it, some of them don't. So I have this little video that Jessica made for them, and they'll email me, and I'll have to redirect them. Go look at the that little video.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to put it in. This is a past assignment, but in the rest of the assignments, I put an instruction about make sure that you don't have third-party cookies, and I told them how to disable their third-party cookies. And I told them not to use Safari. So these are things I had all over Blackboard, right? All over Blackboard, I was like, don't use Safari. So now I have it, in Canvas for this, don't use Safari. These are things that we're kind of learning for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I'll have to go back and edit my older assignments.
Right.
So
just to interrupt here then, Julie, is that kind of how you do the same thing with yours? Is that similar to you? Do you use some in pages and some in modules, or do you know?
Yes, I think so. I have to go back and look and see, because one of them I did the resource list for the research paper that you actually curated for me, Amy.
Okay.
I have that embedded.
Okay.
And that's super slick. I mean, that's super great and easy for the students. I can show you if you want, if people want to see it, to just go through and just click stuff. It's really right in their face. So it's not a lot of extra clicking and finding stuff. And then I think one of the reading lists, I think I have it just in modules. I don't know that I have it actually part of pages.
Okay.
Its own page.
Okay.
But I would have to, let me see if I can look for it really quick here.
The other thing that might help James understand a little bit of this more too is the fact that I can show real fast how to go about doing both the way Mary did it with both a module and as a page. I can show either one on that too. So.
Okay.
And I think it matters, like if you only have like 1 or 2, it's less clicks for the student to have to go to another module page,
right?
Because it's less, I mean, it's just less work, less clicks for them, and then, but if it's obviously you have a lot, then it's just easier for them to see it in that module page, because it's nicer looking. It's just, you see that whole kind of library page,
right?
And it makes more sense.
Yeah, so I have it as an external link, or like a, I don't know, UTI link or whatever, directly from a module. And then I also have it embedded. And
Okay. So, well, then what I will do here, because, this is only supposed to be a half an hour session. So this is one of those things known as, we don't want to take too much of your time here, but I will stop.
I can see doing both, because in the list I have some of the, for film class, I have the film list in the module, but it would make more sense to do what Mary's doing and put the actual film in the announcement page for when I sort of say, here's what to look for in the film. Just have the film show up
Right.
there. Not that I couldn't also have the film in the list, but it's easier for them. They don't have to open the list to get to it.
Right. So bear with me with this. I'm still learning all of Canvas here myself, but here's the class that I have, quote unquote, here. And this is my, here I've got module 1 here. To add as a module, just go here to module. Oh, wait a minute, I don't need to add a module, but I need to go here, if I remember right. Maybe not. I've already got, now I'm doing this going, So I have my list already put in here. So, so maybe it is a module. Let's see here. Add module. Oh, and then I have to add my name here. Test module 2, add module. And then at this point, I go to add, and instead of add assignment, add external tool. And then my library reading list is right here. And this is kind of what Mary was talking about. We can embed the entire rating list here, or I can just embed one section of the reading list, or I can just embed one piece of the reading list. It's real slick in that way, that you don't have to put the whole reading list right there.
And that's also very different from how it works with Blackboard with that link to this section.
Right. You don't have to worry about any of that. It gets rid of all of that stuff. So
this looks much easier.
Much easier. And now at this point, then, and add item. And see, now then that directly takes me directly to that particular section. The other way that Mary did this was under this pages section here. And if I remember right, if you, I think is it add page, Mary? Yes, it is. And then this is a test page for reading lists. But instead of looking for this, look for reading list, it's this little icon right here. It's a plugin. Looks like an electrical plug-in. You click on that, and then you have ICC reading list right there. And then again, it's the same kind of deal where if you want to just add one particular section or one particular, and this, well, and I think with this one, it's not the particular section, but you can do, that would be the individual. So that would be where you would want to do all of your typing about your instructions there. And then James, then you would say, and here's the film.
Yeah,
at
this
the
is when
very
you want to
bottom.
put like just 1 or 2 like like just a link, 1 or 2 different links.
Right.
Because they're not as neat and they're just not as because like as you saw, they're kind of more,
Right.
just not as,
So Mary and Julie, how do you decide whether you're going to use a page or a module?
I decide based on how many things I need to link. Like, is it one thing that I want them to see, or is it many things that they have to choose from?
Yeah, so I'd say the same. Can I share my screen really quick?
This podcast. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me save this in particular. Let me get into stop share. let me give you hosting capabilities, make host. Yes, you're the host now.
And
Okay.
then one more question for Mary. So Mary, you would tell the students in an announcement, go to the page versus go to a module? I'm trying to figure out from a student perspective, how would they know whether to click on your page menu button or your module? You just tell them in the announcements, or?
For me, it's how my weeks are built. So because it's just the way it's built, like if it's like week 3, it's the way it's built, it is built into the week and they would see it that way. And the page is there with the video, or it's built with the module there. So they would automatically see it.
Thanks.
Yeah, so like in mine, I have this, like Jay-Z's Decoded, but it's here in the module. So it's just a link and it's just takes you straight to, you know, the reading list, the actual document. So I just embed that PDF. And there they can just read it right here. And then if we go back, and you go through these in Canvas, like you can, if I go back to this, and then after you're done with it, you can hit next down here, and then it just takes you to the next piece.
I was
right?
going to point that out too, saying that's one of the nice things I've discovered about Canvas is that it gives you this next button that you can go and say, okay, I've done this. Now I need to do this.
And then
Next page. Yeah.
And then I use Google Assignments. I don't know if any other faculty are using Google Assignments, but I love it. And so it integrates with Google Docs. And then students, it gets downloaded to their Google Drive and they just use their ICC account and everything. And then they just hit return and then I get it and then I can edit it in Google Docs and I hit return and it automatically sends it back to them. So it's pretty slick how these kind of worksheets and stuff work. And then the other thing, so then here's an example of how I didn't link to reading lists here. I linked to listening lists through my McGraw-Hill Connect. But this is then a page that's embedded in the module layout. And there's a whole bunch of different links here. So just like what Mary said, I have lots of different links. And so I use the page. And then with just one link that they need to look at, I just embed it in the module. So that's how that works. And then this takes them to the third-party McGraw-Hill thing. So anyway.
Right.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Okay, so does anybody have any other questions or anything like that? I mean, James, you're the person who's the newbie in that respect.
I'm excited to get my hands on Canvas. It looks like lots of interesting things to be able to do.
Yeah, I'm Mary, do you know if anyone else is using Google Assignments, is integrating Google like that? Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a learning curve, obviously, and it took way too much of my time the first week or two, but now it seems to be working really well. And even my rough drafts for the research papers are super slick, how it all, if they choose to do it on Word or PDF and they submit it, I can download all of those files as one zip drive. And then I do my inline comments and my edits and stuff in those files. And then I resave them. And then I re-zip them into a folder and I can upload the entire thing back up into Canvas. And the students get a notification and can just click on their paper.
Nice.
Yeah, and Canvas.
It is very nice.
well, yeah, and you could use the Canvas and Google. You know, they work so well. I mean, I don't know if you're using that integration.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but you could like literally just have to do that, you know, link the two together right there, and you know,
I'm assuming
Canvas and Google.
Google doesn't play with pages. But Mary, have you had students submit anything in Pages? So
I
is that-
have, and it has not read it, and I've had to have them, I've
Oh,
had to send them a
dang.
message back and tell them to resubmit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
my understanding was that Pages would integrate into Canvas, so not so much, huh?
Well, it didn't for me.
Okay. Because that's a common thing in composition is that, everybody's got their own file form and and Blackboard only deals with a couple of them. And I was excited that Canvas would deal with more of them and especially Pages, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
oh, well.
I might check really quick on because I was able to select which extensions I would accept. So I accept Word, Doc, and I accept PDF. But I wonder if you can select Pages as one of them.
What is the extension for Pages? Is it
Dot,
PGS?
dot pages.
Dot Pages? Okay.
It's dot pages.
So anyway, but again, with the reading lists too, I mean, it was just, these were reading lists that Mary, you had created last year with
Last fall, yeah.
Blackboard, and it was like just throwing it back into this was like, well, that was easy.
It was so easy because I just rolled them over. And yeah, I literally didn't do anything new with them except roll them over.
That's what I'm excited about for the classes I have for my English 111 and for my film. I have lists, and I'm excited. And Canvas is going to push me into those other classes where I don't have the lists. This will be a perfect opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's true because I didn't have lists. There was one class I didn't have a list in. I didn't have
Yeah.
lists in, and I created like lists for that class.
Yeah, it's
Because
I
it was
put so
easy.
much work into a couple of other classes that I was not motivated to do it in a list, but now because I can't export that stuff anyway,
Yeah,
it's gonna force me to do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So-
It might have been 110 because I didn't teach 110 in spring, my intro, and I focused in fall. I was focusing on 118. So, and I made a 110 list just this semester and maybe even 220. So yeah, I did. I just made lists for them. So because I can't like have a class without reading lists now. And I even made for like at least 2 of my classes, I made a reading list that is literally called miscellaneous items because now you can just pick just a single thing. And I was like, oh, I want to just have this now. I don't have to have a full list anymore. I could just pick something that's like, oh, well, I'm just going to put this somewhere now. And oh, I'm just going to put this somewhere now. I'm just going to put this somewhere now. Like you can just do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, well, it is 3:30 at this point, so that's pretty much what it is here. So, Julie, you want to hand over the reins back to me? Although it's just basically at this point, just kind of unless there's anything else that anybody else wants to say, that's all there is for today then. This was going to be, we're trying to keep these short and sweet. So
Yeah.
go ahead,
I'll say
Mary.
one thing. This semester I wanted to, and I think maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody, James, you're doing it, or somebody I know is out there is doing it. But this semester I wanted to have my students in one of my classes where they're going back and suggesting things to the library, to the reading lists in one of my 200 classes. And Jessica made a video for me, and so she was learning a lot more, and so she's doing it from the Canvas side of things and stuff like that. So so when that comes to people coming into Canvas, I know that there's kind of going to be like a video out there because she's like, oh, do you want to make the video? And she kind of saw the look on my face. So she's like,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like, I
gonna
don't
be,
even know how to do this, and I'm going to be making a video, you
Yeah.
know. So she's
Oh.
taking care of that, where she's making a video from the Canvas side of, you know, and how to have the students make their own collections, and then putting articles, back into reading lists for me,
right, yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah, we have Leanne Hostad in the OTA department is doing it with Blackboard right now.
uh-huh.
She and Daniel
Mhm.
from at the Peoria Library have been doing a lot of work with that. They did that presentation last week at this point in time.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so yeah, so at this point, we're still learning, but we're trying to keep in the library, we're trying to keep as much ahead of the curve as possible. And I have a feeling we'll be making a bunch of those videos, just like you said. So,
You
but
guys are
yeah,
doing a great job.
Yeah.
I
thank
so
you.
appreciate the work that you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that we get to be on the help with the leading, maybe not bleeding, but at least leading edge of technology with
Mhm.
that. So anyway, well, I'm going to stop the recording. And